If you are sick of losing money betting on sports, then stick around because today I'm going to show you the top 5 reasons that you're losing at sports betting and how you can turn it around starting today. The most common reason people lose at sports betting is they don't think in terms of probability and value. This is the foundation of profitable betting. All you really need to do is whenever you see odds of minus 110 or plus 150, for example, you just need to change that into a percentage. There are plenty of calculators out there for this, and I have a completely free one on my website for you to use as well. So if you're not already doing it, you're going to start translating odds like minus 110 into a probability, into a percent. So for minus 110, that percent or that probability is 52.38%. For plus 150, the probability is 40%. If you don't know the probability of the bets you're placing, you're basically flying blind. Your brain just doesn't know how to handle odds very well, but it does know its way around a probability. You need to be thinking about the probability that your bet is going to win. The reason that's important is because if you're winning bets at minus 110 odds more often than 52.38% of the time, that means you're profitable. That's what people don't think about. What percentage of the time does your bet need to win in order for you to make money? If you start thinking this way, you're going to make a huge jump over 90% of other sports bettors. So don't think in terms of winners and losers. Think in terms of the probability that your bet is going to win. If the probability that your bet wins is more than the odds that you're taking it at, you're going to be a winner. Let's do a quick example to hammer that point home. Let's say you're rolling a die and you need to roll a 3, 4, 5, or a 6. So that's a probability of about 67%. 4 out of 6 is 2 out of 3, so 67%. Now, what if someone is going to pay you $1 if you roll a 3, 4, 5, or 6, and you have to pay them $1 if you roll a 1 or a 2? Is that a bet you should take? Yeah, obviously it is. Sure, sometimes you're going to lose. About 33% of the time, you're going to roll a 1 or a 2, and you're going to lose your money. But because over the long run, you make more than you lose, that's a profitable bet. That's a good bet, even though sometimes it's going to lose. It sounds like an easy concept, but people mess that up in sports betting all the time. That's exactly what the concept of expected value is. What you expect to make in the long run over many, many bets. If you don't understand this stuff right now, that's okay. Stop the video, head over to my website, and go take the very, very affordable basics course. You can also take the advanced course and analytics courses to learn even more. The second reason you're losing is because you think the math involved in sports betting is too hard to learn. I'll tell you this. What we just talked about in probability and expected value is pretty much as hard as it gets. One of the most common misconceptions I hear is that people say you need to be great at math or amazing with computers to be good at sports betting. That couldn't be further from the truth. Really, all you need to be a winner is adding, subtracting, dividing, and multiplying. That's really it. If you do get into data modeling at some point, and don't get me wrong, that's going to help you win if you do learn that. But worry about the harder math stuff at that point. You don't need to be great at math to do this initially. You don't actually need to know very much to win at sports betting. I love making complicated things more simple. So I've made the sports betting math even easier for you with a bunch of calculators I have on my website, and they're all free. All the simple calculations you need for sports betting can be done automatically with a set of easy-to-use calculators. The third reason you're losing is because you're not using something called the synthetic VIG. To make this a little easier, let's talk first about what the VIG is. Instead of calling it the VIG, some people call it the juice, the hold, the cut, or the house edge. It's the reason that sportsbooks win money, and the reason that sports bettors lose money. For a usual bet with 2 sides, let's say a total of 42.5 with minus 110 on the over and minus 110 on the under, that bet has about 4.5% VIG. It's basically the amount that the sportsbook expects to make. Think about it. If one person bets $110 on one side and another person bets $110 on the other side, no matter who wins, the sportsbook only has to pay out $100. They keep the other $110 and profit $10. 10 divided by 220, the total amount on the game, is 4.5%. Let's say you're looking at a game where the line is minus 160 on one side and plus 140 on the other side. That's about 4.8% on the VIG. Now let's say you shop around at different sports books and you find minus 150 and plus 145 as your best bets on both sides. That takes the VIG down to 0.8%. That 0.8% is your synthetic VIG. You've made that VIG. You synthesized it by looking at different sports books. So you've taken that down all the way from 4.8 to 0.8 just from line shopping. So So now that we have this low synthetic vig, we don't have far to go to overcome the house edge. So now we're in a really good position to start thinking about some different factors that are going to push that line from a house edge to your edge. Now that might be injuries, that might be news that has come out, that might be your opinion on the game. These little things will all add up and slowly make the edge reverse and go in your favor. If you're serious about making money in sports betting, then using synthetic vig is a total game changer. I cover this in depth in my basics course on BetterEd, and we have an odds screen coming to the site. So that's going to make it really easy for you to find odds, compare them, line shop, and find the best prices on both sides so you can get that nice synthetic vig. The fourth reason you're losing is because you're listening to the wrong people. Whether it's friends, social media, or so-called experts, there's a lot of bad information out there. The sports betting world is full of noise, and it can be hard to separate the good information from the bad. So how do you know if someone is actually any good? Do you pay attention to their win percentage? Do you pay attention to the record they say they have? It's hard to know, and there are a ton of scammers out there. Remember this, sportsbooks make 8% profit on the overall volume they take. That has to come from somewhere. Not everybody is a winner. In fact, sportsbook data shows that 55% of people report that they win, but only 2% of people are actually long-term winners. When you're trying to figure out if someone is any good, forget about win percentages and forget about records as standalone measurements. What's really going to be a good indicator is if they're any better than break even. If someone reports that they win 60% of their bets, but you find out their average bet is at minus 200 odds, it's not really impressive. Minus 200 translates to a probability of 67%. So if they're winning at 60% when they should be winning at 67% to break even, they're losing better. So if you have someone's record or their win percentage, then you should also take into account the average odds that they're betting at. If you don't have that, then ROI or return on investment is a good indicator. You should also be very skeptical of anybody who's trying to sell you their picks. If someone says that they're winning at 60% and their average bet is at minus 110 odds, that's a lie. Not only is that not sustainable over a long period of time, it's just not optimal betting. There are way more opportunities out there where you don't have a 60% edge. There are so few bets where it's set at minus 110 and you have a 60% win rate on that bet compared to minus 110 odds and you have a 55% win rate on that bet. That's still a good bet, and there are a lot more of them. So more volume means more money for you. My advice here is simple. Don't pay for picks. Your margins are very thin because of the vig. So if you're paying for picks, you're just adding to the amount that you have to overcome to be profitable. Most pick sellers are also not winning bettors, despite their claims. So you're also buying bad picks. Over time, you're going to start to be able to identify good, sharp bettors. And that's going to take some time, especially if you don't have any records to analyze. For now, I would just recommend avoiding pick sellers altogether. Okay, finally, the fifth reason. You might be in the wrong market. Not all markets are created equally. Some markets, like the NBA and the NFL, are highly efficient. Market efficiency just means how well the odds or the prices are reflecting all the available information out there. In an efficient market, the prices of assets like stocks, real estate, or sports bets adjust quickly to new information that comes out. So it's hard to consistently find good deals or undervalued assets. Look for less efficient markets, like smaller sports or prop betting. Those markets will have softer lines and you'll be able to take advantage of them more often. So if you're getting your butt kicked in NFL sides and totals each year, it might be time to start looking at esports. If you want a deeper dive into these strategies and to start winning more bets, head over to my website, BetterEd. It's full of comprehensive courses and tools and resources that are going to help make you a smarter, more profitable bettor. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. If you do that, it helps me out a lot and it makes the YouTube algorithm really like me, so I'd appreciate it. Thank you for watching to the end. Remember, these 5 reasons can be the difference between winning and losing. Keep these tips in mind, and I'll see you in the next video.